Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. For this video I have about 6 topics and maybe 5. It depends how it's gonna be progressing. The first one, we find out according to the Russians that they eliminated up to 30 foreign mercenaries in Sumy, near Sumy, the city in Sumy Oblast. I will show you a map as well. Second one, it seems like, again, according to Sputnik, that those guys, the Yemenis, the Houthis, you remember the Houthis, downed another US drone, a Reaper drone, MQ-9. How many did they destroy? Well, I'm going to let you know. The other one, Putin offended Trump. Trump is very upset, very upset. Next one, France is stealing Russia's money. France, the government of France, is a thief. How? You probably know. Erdogan, the president of Turkey, he's really pushing it. Now, I don't know how sincere he is. He's pushing it. He really wants to have I don't think he really wants to, but it seems like he's pushing for that, to have the same treatment as Colonel Muammar Gaddafi had. Remember? When Gaddafi said that he wants to build a Pan-African Union, remember, have their own like European Union kind of thing, military, currency, economic, blah, 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 blah. What happened to Gaddafi? Yeah. All right, well, Erdogan wants to do the same thing. He calls for and I'm quoting, Islamic alliance, Erdogan, against the perpetual victims. And the last article and subject here that we have is an admission by Alexander Sirski, who is the commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian military, supposedly, at least that's the title, that Ukraine is outnumbered and outgunned. That means they don't have enough people to use enough weapons. So what could be the logical consequence of that? Conclusion. Well, stop the war. Nah, no. That's not going to be it. It's going to be something else. That is, give us troops, which is you guys get involved with your military and with your weapons. Don't you think? So which one would be the logical one? It depends what the masters order. So let's start with the first article. That comes from Sputnik. Here it is, Sputnik. It is from an hour ago. Can you believe this? Today on the 8th of September 2024, Sunday. Russian missile strike eliminates up to 30 foreign Mercs near Sumy, Defense Ministry claim. They have a video here, and I don't know if those are mercenaries or not, but nevertheless, this is what they claim. So here is the map of Ukraine, and obviously Sumy is here, Sumy Oblast, but the city of Sumy is right here next to the NATO invasion of Russia. So here is the city of Sumy, and this is the border, very close by, don't you think? Here it is. So let's see where these guys claim and what are the details. Russian forces have carried out a missile strike and eliminated up to 30 foreign mercenaries and 6 units of military equipment of the Ukrainian armed forces near a settlement of Stetkovka, located north of the city of Sumy. All right, Stetkovska. We're not going to see it because this guy doesn't go this far, but I can use another one. So here is Sumy, and it's a different map, and I'm looking for Stetkovska. The only thing I find north of Stetkovka, Stetivka, right here. So this is Sumy, and this is where that Stetivka is. Stetivka, probably that's the one, going by okay, that's the one, north of the city of Sumy. So this is Sumy, the painting, right here, and then Stetkovka, where I said, is north. So let's see how close to the front that is. Stetivka. It's close, right here. This is the border, the incursion. So it would be safe to say that it is in this area, close to the border. All right, so let's see what these guys are saying. The ministry also published a video showing the moment of the strike on enemy positions and a powerful explosion. Strike on mercenaries, I'm quoting, Stetskovka area north of Sumy. As a result, the missile strike eliminated up to 30 foreign mercenaries and 6 units of hardware in a temporary deployment point. Now, is it true? I don't know. That's what they say. Now, how do they say they're foreign mercenaries? Mercenaries like NATO, how do you call it? Troops that just changed their clothes in Poland before entering Ukraine. Is that what it is? Well, I suspect that's exactly what it is. But hi, do I have any evidence to support that? Just experience and knowledge. All right, let's go to the Houthis, who seem to have a good air defense system operating over there. Sputnik. Houthis shot down the eighth U.S. drone MQ-9 Reaper. And they show this picture of the Sukhoi. Remember when the Sukhoi came and harassed the drone, the Reaper, over the Black Sea by Crimean Peninsula, and the Russians came and screwed their propeller with dumping fuel on them. Okay, that's exactly what this is. Shiite movement Ansar Allah, the Houthis, ruling northern Yemen's shot down U.S. reconnaissance drone MQ-9 Reaper in northwestern Yemen. Oh, so these guys are flying over Yemen, which was carrying out reconnaissance over Marib province. I will show you a map. The eighth since last fall, Houthi military spokesman Papapap said on that. So let me show you where this province is. And here it is. Yemen is right here by Gulf of Aden. This is the Red Sea. This is obviously Israel. This is Turkey. This is the Mediterranean Sea. Egypt, a kind of Suez Canal right here. So they in this area right here, this is Houthis control this part of Yemen. So they said they destroyed it northwestern. Northwestern, as I said, is in here. Northwestern, in this area, by Saudi Arabia or by the Red Sea. So Red Sea, PPP, this area. All right, let's go back to the article. So, and I'm quoting, an American MQ-9 drone was shot down while carrying out enemy missions in the skies of Marib province. This drone was the 8th aircraft of this type shot down during the battle and holy jihad in support of Gaza. End quote. Saria told Papapap. So what do you think? And they show a little wreckage. Photo posted to social media purportedly showing wreckage of a U.S. MQ-9 shot down over northern Yemen by the Houthi militia. Sputnik has not been able to independently verify the authenticity of the photo. I'm reading something that it seems like you guys are not seeing over there. Let me fix this. Okay, let's go to the next topic, which is Putin has offended me, says Trump. Russia Today. Putin has offended me. The U.S. presidential candidate has said he doesn't know why Putin has, quote-unquote, endorsed his rival. Putin, it seems like Putin and Trump are operating on a different intellectual level than those imbeciles and are just making fun of them. I don't know if it happened to you when you had an argument with someone or you were in a conversation and the other guy was just plainly dumb. And then you were like, man, how lower should we go intellectually? Cut, I don't know, 50 IQ points out of these guys or what? So the same, these guys are making jokes so low that these guys don't even understand it's a joke. I'm talking about the other side. So Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump has said he felt very offended, quote unquote, when Russian President Vladimir Putin expressed support for his election rival. After asked during an international economic forum in Vladivostok on Thursday if he had, and I'm quoting, a favorite in the US election, Putin said that he will follow Biden's endorsement of Harris and will support her as well, end quote. Putin also said, and I'm quoting, Trump imposed more sanctions on Russia than any president who came before him, and suggests that Harris, and I'm quoting, would maybe refrain from such actions. He's just trolling, obviously. And speaking at a campaign rally in the city of Mozini, I don't know if that's the way you pronounce it, Mossini, Wisconsin. On Saturday, Trump slammed the White House for what he said was a false claim of Russia meddling in the election. So the imbeciles on the other side, instead of taking this as a joke made at their expense, they took it seriously and they claimed that's evidence that Putin actually is with Trump together and so on. Putin is just making fun of these imbeciles, baboons. And I'm quoting, "Oh no, it's Russia, Russia, Russia all over again," Trump said. And again, Trump says, "I knew Putin. I knew him well." And you know, he endorsed, I don't know if you saw the other day, he endorsed Kamala. I was very offended by that. I wonder why he endorsed Kamala. He described Putin as a chess player and said he was wondering if he had spoken about Harris, quote unquote, with a smile. That's exactly what he did. And this is from Sputnik. Trump jokingly very offended by Putin's endorsement of Harris. Yeah. All right, that's it is. Good job. All right, next one. Let's see how the French nation steals Russia's money. Russia Today. France to pay for Ukrainian weapons with Russian funds. I mean, if you don't think this is robbery, thievery, criminal activity, then I will hope that happens to you. Oh, you're not going to fight, you're not going to invade anybody? Okay, then you're going to be weak. Why? I remember when I was a child, and I don't know how old I was, but I think I know in the fourth grade in Romania, in a communist Romania, you will start learning history in fourth grade. So I don't know whatever it was, and I came happy and told my dad, my father, that hey, you know, Romania never invaded the country, never. We always fought defensive wars, and we always defended our country. We are so good. Romania is so good. My father said, I don't know if it was fourth grade or something between 8 until the 8th grade. I don't know, 6, 7, 5, I don't know. And he said, well, but I think it was fourth. He said, well, did you think about this one? How about maybe Romania was impotent, could not invade other countries? And I was like, So, all right, France, so that's why, if you can't invade anybody else, maybe because you're weak, not because you have you're so virtuous, you have, those qualities that nobody else has. I hope you have them. I hope you have them. But once you have power, it's hard to harness those, instincts of taking over without being yours. It's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard. It's not impossible, but the temptations grow with the proportionate to the power that you have. More power you have, and the temptations become stronger to take more and more, or to take. It's hard to say, oh no, I'm not going to do that. But if you look in history, I mean, I know you are different probably, and you are, because you're not the same as anybody else. But France to pay, for Ukrainian weapons with Russian funds. What would you do? I will tell you what I would do. I would consider France an enemy, right there. And the French would say, you can't say that. Well, you take my money, batch. Anyway, they have to pay somehow for something, because their economy is also bankrupt. A socialist country as France makes its elderly go back to work from 62 to 64. But the stroke of a pen of a little man. Why don't we use the right term? Midget? Let's go. Paris will use proceeds from the frozen assets to buy artillery shells and air defense equipment for Kiev. Now, you can use you don't froze. You can't froze that. It's not you and, you. Okay, good. Western countries have frozen 300 billion in Russian sovereign reserves. They're not more sovereign anymore, in response to Moscow's military operation in Ukraine. You got it? So this was these guys are going to do. Let's see what the French defense minister said on Friday. The European Commission has agreed. So these guys are hiding behind commissions. It was a guy, the most evil guy in the world. He said that cowards hide behind parliaments, where they think that the number, they're just hiding. Oh, we voted. We were we voted. It was democratic. No, I know how you guys voted, and I should know how you voted. And when you voted, we were 50, we voted. Okay, all 50 are guilty. Like it was in situation in Romania at one point, a corruption scandal that these guys dared to publicize. And they said, well, it was the government and others. And the reason provided to us by the operatives, which are the media operatives, the system operatives, was there's too many people that could be implicated and convicted, charged. Convict them all, charge them all. How many are? 3,000? There's something like this. They said about 300 people. So I said, charge them all. So that means if you have a mob of 300 people committing crimes in a neighborhood, you will not do it because there's too many of them or something. So that's the same. That guy said, the evil guy said, these guys hide behind a number. But as one leader, if you make a mistake, you can't point to other, if you say, we're going to do this way, and that fucks up, you say, well, that's your decision. Yeah, but when it was his time, he started blaming the generals and Steiner. Steiner will not surround the Soviets around Berlin. Steiner attack did not occur and all that. Or Paulus was supposed to boom himself because he was promoted to the rank of field marshal, and no field marshal, German field marshal, was captured by anybody. So anyone who got almost captured, boom. No, but when it was about that one, no, everybody was wrong. I was right all the time. You know what I mean? So nevertheless, let's see what these guys are saying. The baboons who are hiding behind the Commission. The European Commission has agreed with the French Director General of Armaments to use those funds to quickly procure priority munitions, artillery and air defense equipment for Ukraine from French industry, worth 300 million euros, which is $332 million by 2024, all this year, the French minister. So who's going to be? These guys. But the French arms industry has nothing to do with politicians who want war, nothing. But they're just caught in the crossfire between the Russians and the Ukrainians, and they have to make ammunition. That's a, how do you call it? Profits, double, triple, whatever, man. Do you think that, if it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, if it smells like a duck, if it farts like a duck, it's probably a duck. The same here. Don't tell me these army industries that are legally could fund campaign or provide campaign donations in United States of America, at least, have nothing to do with the politicians not wanting to hear the Russians' concerns in 2021. Don't tell me that. If you believe that, I will have two questions. One, how old are you? I will go like that. I say, okay, it needs time, all right? But if you are over the age of 30, you can't go, okay? So if you're under 30, I will say, okay, like that. That's the first one. And the second one is like, I can't believe. Go and get some, experience. Go around, live the life. But everything has to do with experience, knowledge, and direct experience. Now, let's see how Mr. Erdogan will end up, maybe like Gaddafi. Here you have him. Turkey's Erdogan calls for Islamic alliance against the perfect nation. Right there. And I don't know if he's sincere, because this guy is an opportunistic guy who's looking for his... I like Erdogan. I tell you why. Because he's looking for himself first and his nation first. He is a little bit above the nation, okay? But nevertheless, the nation. And he is making deals like a bazaar. That's politics, a bazaar. They make deals. They don't have any values, and they have our principles. This is garbage for the baboons to stay in line, to follow orders, pay their taxes, don't commit crimes, like all those things. Just stay over there, listen to us. Your kingdom is not here, so you stay here to be by us. And when then you go over there, and your kingdom will be yours. And I agree with that. The kingdom should be yours. But now I want this kingdom to be mine. That's my philosophy. And when we die and we meet over there, you're going to be in charge of me. Okay? Or maybe someone else because of my actions. Yeah, man. Anyway, look at this guy. So I like him because he's an opportunistic and he looks for his country's interest. And he's a good politician. He's cunning. So that's what Erdogan. I don't think that this alliance that he's talking about is for real. That means sticking his neck too much out, and these guys are going to overthrow him. Or maybe he's trying to be elected again. I don't know if he can, because he's been 2 times, right? Now this is the 2nd time. Turkish president said on Saturday Islamic countries should form an alliance against what he called, and I'm quoting what he called. That's very nice, Reuters. Very nice. You see, these guys can be, how do you call it, journalists. What called the growing threat of expansionism from Israel, drawing a rebuke from the Israeli foreign minister. Okay, that's the one. Do you have any countries here that he's having in mind? He said something. Arab regimes. Saudi Arabia. Ties between them started. Well, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. No, that's not going to happen unless China, Russia, in Iran support that. Why? America will fuck them up at the behest of the good. All right, Erdogan wants Islamic alliance against Israel. Turkey's president, see, this is the, now they changed the name of their country legally. So Turkey, this is the name of this country. But it seems like Reuters did not get the memo. You see that? Do you think it's just that Reuters, let's see who's the baboon, because I think it's at the end. No, right here. Darren Butler and Timothy Heritage. Don't you think that these guys did not get the memo that the country is actually called Turkey? Or do you think that they don't give a shit? Or if they don't know, they should not write for Reuters. They're baboons. But they do. So being allowed, remember, they have editors. Before they publish that, some editors, a lot of eyes fall over that. And how do you think they let Turkey to just slip the first word in the title? So that's read by each and every person with no mistake. But somehow they don't know it's Turkey. It's like you would say, in the United States of America, you would call it, I don't know, Zappa Kappa Lupu Lupu, because that's the, and you write it differently. You can say, well, each country can write whatever it wants. It's true to a certain extent. I think this is a, how do you call it, intentional mistake. So he wants that block. Be careful, Erdogan. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen unless all these guys join Russia and China, the BRICS and all that. Why? Because they need a protector. By themselves, the Americans, at the behest and the orders of okay, we'll do it. We'll do what they did to others. Now, outnumbered and outgunned, Ukraine's military is struggling with low morale and destruction. And this is the Russian. Oh, maybe I should show you this. How about this one? Tabarapa. This is the guy, and this is very much Russian to me. So, and he is, and he was interviewed by this baboon. What's her name? Anapur. Jesus Christ. But nevertheless. This is what he said. They basically say that Ukrainian units' reinforcements are few and far between, leaving some soldiers exhausted and demoralized. The situation is particularly dire among infantry units near Pokrovsk and elsewhere on the eastern front line, where Ukraine is struggling to stop Russia's creeping advances. And then CNN spoke with 6 commanders and officers who are or were until recently fighting or supervising units in the area. All 6 said desertion, that means they don't want to fight and leave, and insubordination are becoming a widespread problem, especially among newly recruited soldiers. 4 of the 6, including Dima, have asked for their names to be changed. Why? Retribution. So my friends, no, I saw some videos and one of them was sent to me on Facebook by one of my friends, and it was a Ukrainian guy who was abducted by the Ukrainian recruiting officers and punched and all that. That's the way you take them to fight for your country? Why are they not fighting? Because they're cowards? Isn't it? Because they don't want to fight because they know Zelensky. Maybe they don't want to fight the Russians. Maybe they don't want to fight for the West's interest. All of the above and so on. But they take it as being cowards and not being, they don't want to serve. What do you do when you think that your government is a treasonous government? Well, we were told that you are supposed to do something about it. But Somehow the other guys have guns. And of course the recruiting officers will be very violent in abducting these guys and following the laws and the orders. Why? Otherwise they would go on the front. They don't want to do that. Don't you think that's not the option? Because that's the way they tell them. I suspect if you don't get them, we're going to send you to the front. What will you do? Well, talk to the government, vote. Well, you can vote because it's a martial law. You got guns? Oh no, because only the terrorists and criminals have them. We just defend ourselves with calling police, which has the guns in our name to protect us. No, thank you. Give me the chick and let's go defend myself and my freedom, democracy, and country and all that. My friends, it's obvious what's going on here. We have tyrants and we are the subjects, or we are the modern economic slaves, like in a matrix. We work, and the energy we produce, through our energy, whatever we produce, these guys are over there to tell us what to do, to give us how much we deserve, to all these prices, they're controlled. I don't believe this, like, oh my God, you can't pay for a country's medical health care. You can't, as a country, to afford providing each and every citizen in a civilized country and strong and you can't universal health care. I mean, I don't want to be given something I don't deserve, but don't call yourself civilized in that country, that situation. You can call yourself just, please. You tax those guys more than those guys. That's not fair. We're individuals. We have one vote, but somehow I pay, I don't know, this much of tax, and you pay that much, and someone even more. But somehow we have to tax us more, those guys more. It's one individual. Too much money. Says who? You have the, I don't know, you keep the balance of the universe in how much we should earn and how much we should tax. In the democratic system, that's the way it works. Well, maybe there are some things that need to be tweaked. Thank you very much for being with me again today. These guys basically in this article say we need troops, disciplined troops already formed in the West, and we need their weapons, all of them. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.